I'm Dreyer and welcome to the Wealth Creator Spiritual Path podcast. Today we're going to dive into a very powerful episode titled I Am the Tree, where we'll explore the connection between our roots, our growth, and our journey towards spiritual and financial empowerment. Now, to set the stage, we'll begin with a story about a young man named Bjeuren. Like many of us, Buren felt the need to break free from his past, believing that his success lay in escaping the very roots that grounded him. But through a journey of self-discovery, guided by the wisdom of an ancient tree, he learned that his roots were not holding him back. They were the source of his strength, reliance, and potential. Now, as you listen to Buren's story, you'll see how the lessons he learned reflect the deeper spiritual and financial teachings of this episode. Now, after the story, I'm going to dive into the insights that can help you to apply the wealth creator strategy in your own life, embracing the power of the root chakra, the flexibility of the knees, and the law of co-creation. Together, we're going to uncover how honoring our roots allows us to grow boldly, adapted to challenges, and co-create a future of abundance and success. So, settle in and open your minds to the story of Buren, the tree that learned to thrive by embracing its roots. And after the story, we'll explore the financial and the spiritual lessons that can help you to grow just as strong. So, here's the story.
Buren's journey, the tree of life. In a quaint village cradled between rolling hills and expansive forests, lived a young man named Bjeuren. Buren had forever felt a stirring restlessness, longing to abandon his serene hometown in pursuit of a life brimming with triumph and adventure. He frequently stood at the edge of the woods, his gaze fixed upon the majestic trees that swayed in the wind, their roots deeply anchored in the earth, while their branches reached to the sky, yearning for the heavens above. One fateful day, as Buren ventured further into the woods, he stumbled upon an ancient, majestic tree, a marvel beyond compare. Its roots, twisted and robust, delved deep into the earth, while its branches stretched forth like welcoming arms, embracing the heavens. Despite the considerable age of the tree, it stood strong and proud, its leaves shimmering with a radiant golden hue. Curious, Buren nestled between the ancient branches, and as he did, a soft, gentle voice graced his ears. "Why do you wonder, young man?" inquired the tree with a warmth that wrapped around him. Startled, Buren looked around, realizing the voice was coming from the tree itself. "I'm searching for my path," he confessed, the weight of his quest evident in his tone. "I yearn for success, yet it feels as though I need to escape from where I came from to achieve it." The tree's leaves rustled, as if they were laughing softly. "What if I told you that your roots are not shackles, but rather the source of your strength?" it proclaimed. "Just as I draw vitality from the earth, you too are supported by your roots, your family, your culture, your history. These are the very foundation from which you can grow." Buren frowned and said, "But I don't want to be restricted. I aspire to reach new heights and embrace freedom." "Freedom isn't about cutting away your roots," the tree replied. "It's about understanding them and using them as a foundation upon which you can build." Imagine a tree attempting to grow without roots. It would fall at the slightest gust of wind. However, with deep and strong roots, it can endure any storm and reach for the sun. Intrigued, Buren decided to return to the tree each day, and before long it began teaching him the lessons of life. The tree revealed that just as its roots dig deep into the earth to seek nourishment, Buren must explore his own history to understand his origins and the legacy he carries. Over time, Buren began to see how his upbringing had shaped him. Your roots are like a family reunion, a treasure trove of experiences, and your secret skills. Instead of running from them, learn to draw strength from them, the tree advised. As the seasons passed, Buren started to understand how his upbringing has shaped him. His grandfather, a skilled craftsman, instilled in him the values of patience and precision. His mother, a devoted gardener, demonstrated the significance of nurturing and care. These experiences were not merely memories, they served as invaluable tools for Buren on his journey. Buren understood that the tree's branches grew not by depleting others, but by harnessing the resources available to it: sunlight, water, and the nutrients found in the soil. This is the wealth creator's strategy, the tree explained, to intelligently and efficiently utilize the resources at your disposal. You don't need endless opportunities, rather, you must fully embrace what lies within your reach. Motivated by this insight, Buren decided to implement the lessons in his life. He shifted his attention away from seeking external validation and opportunities, choosing instead to sharpen his own skills and knowledge. He began crafting beautiful wooden carvings from the woodworking techniques his grandfather had taught him. Before long, people from nearby villages flocked to admire and purchase his art. One day, a fierce storm swept through the village. Buren watched from his window as the wind roared and the trees bowed to its strength. However, the ancient majestic tree remained steadfast, its branches swaying but never breaking. Once the storm had cleared, Buren approached the tree and inquired, "How did you endure such a powerful storm?" "By being flexible," the tree responded. Rigidity can be a weakness, whereas flexibility enables you to bend without breaking. Life will present challenges, such as financial difficulties and personal setbacks, but if you can adapt, you will remain grounded. Your knees, your legs, and your ability to bend and rise again represent your flexibility. Embrace the ability to move with the wind rather than resist it. Buren reflected on his own life. He had consistently been rigid in his pursuit of success, convinced that there was only a single route to take. However, the storm revealed to him that being adaptable was crucial. So he began to explore new ways of growing his craft, learning from others, and even venturing into new projects that he had never considered before. As months passed, Buren's business grew, but more importantly, he found a sense of peace and fulfillment. One day he returned to the tree and said, "I understand now. It's not just about reaching the top, but about the journey of growing and nurturing along the way. Just like you, I can be rooted and free at the same time." The tree's leaves sparkled in the sunlight. "Exactly, Buren. Success is not about cutting ties with your past or escaping your roots. It's about understanding that every experience, every lesson, every challenge has helped shape who you are. Use that knowledge to grow, to reach new heights, but always remember where you come from." As Buren continued to expand his ventures, he began teaching others what he had learned. He helped young craftsmen and entrepreneurs in the village to see that they didn't need to escape their circumstances to find success. They needed to understand and use what they had. "The journey of growth is a cycle," Buren said, echoing the tree's wisdom. "Just like the tree grows new branches every year but never forgets its roots, we too can grow, learn, and expand while staying connected to whom we are. And one day, our growth will become the roots that support the next generation." And so, Buren became a mentor, a guide, much like the tree that had taught him. He understood that every person was a tree in their own right, with roots, branches, and the possibility to reach new heights. The lessons of the tree lived on, not just in Buren, but in every person he helped along the way.
So let's look at some of the lessons that we can learn from the story of Bjeuren. The concept of I am the tree invites us to reflect deeply on our connection with the earth, our past, and the roots that shape who we are today. Just as the tree is anchored by its roots, drawing strength and nourishment from the earth, we too are connected to our roots, our family, experiences, culture, and history. These roots give us stability, allowing us to stand tall and grow. But to truly thrive, we must learn to embrace, understand, and transform these connections. In this story, we see how Bjeuren struggled with the desire to escape his roots, believing that freedom and success lie in leaving his past behind. Like many of us, he thought that breaking away from what held him down would allow him to grow. Yet, through the wisdom of an ancient tree, he learned that his roots were not chains, but the source of his strength, guiding his journey towards spiritual and financial growth. The base chakra, or the root chakra, is the foundation of our connection to the physical world. It is where our life energy is anchored, much like the roots of a tree. In Buren's story, the ancient tree reminds him that his roots, his past, and his heritage were not barriers, but the very things that grounded him, providing stability and strength. This grounding energy is essential for both spiritual as well as financial growth, as it allows us to stay connected to what truly matters while reaching for new opportunities. Now, through the Wealth Creator strategy, we learn that true wealth comes from using what we already have wisely. And that's the trick. Just as the tree grows by drawing nutrients from the soil, we can grow by understanding our inherent skills, talents, and connections. And by embracing his roots, Bjeuren discovered that the craft and the skills passed down from his families were not limitations, but assets he could build upon to create success. Now, the knees plays a crucial role in our physical and spiritual journey. They symbolize flexibility, adaptation, and the ability to move forward. Now, just as the tree bends but does not break, our knees allows us to navigate life's challenges, moving with the wind rather than resisting it. In Bjuren's journey, we learn to adapt and to be flexible, realizing that rigidity would only hinder his growth. By learning to bend and sway like a tree, he was able to face challenges head-on without losing his footing. His journey showed how important it is to have the strength to adapt, especially when pursuing financial goals. Flexibility in thinking and action allows us to navigate economic downturns, market changes, and personal setbacks. The knee also holds memory, the accumulated knowledge and experience of our ancestors. Every decision, movement, and experience is stored like data in a GPS, guiding future generations. Now, this memory is not just about repeating patterns, but also about learning from them. When Bjeuren learned to see his family's history not as a burden but as a guide, he was able to use their strength and avoid repeating their mistakes, paving his own way forward. Now, in the podcast, we discuss how life is about co-creation, where we work together along the universe to manifest our goals. The law of co-creation teaches us that we are not passive observers, but active participants in our journey. Bjuren's story amplifies this principle. By choosing to embrace his roots, he began to co-create his reality, using the lessons of his past to build a future that was both grounded and expansive. Now, instead of seeking external solutions, Bjeuren turned inwards, realizing that the answers he sought was already within him. This mirrors the Wealth Creator strategy, which emphasizes using available resources intelligently in order to get whatever you want in life. Success does not come from cutting away what we have, but by recognizing its value and potential. Memory, as an example, is a higher faculty of the mind that allows us to store, to recall, and to learn from experiences. Now, in the story, Bjuren's journey highlights how memory plays a role in shaping our actions and decisions. His family's experiences, passed down through generations, were imprinted in his action and reaction. So instead of trying to erase his past, he learned to honor it, using these memories to inform his future. In practical terms, our memory, both personal and ancestral, are like blueprints. They help us to navigate life, teaching us where to tread carefully and where to take bold steps. Financially, this means learning from our mistakes, understanding patterns, and using this knowledge to make smarter decisions. Spiritually, it means recognizing that every experience, every memory is part of the journey of growth. So here are some questions that we can reflect on. How do my roots, my family, culture, history, how does this influence my decision today? Now, Buren learned that his family's skills and past were not just memories, but tools he could use to build his future. Similarly, reflect on the skills, lessons, and strength that have been passed down to you. Let me give you a practical example. Think of a family tradition or skill that you've inherited. Instead of dismissing it, consider how you can use it to your advantage. Maybe it's a knack for cooking, crafting, or even a business acumen that can help you in your own ventures. Here's another question. Am I trying to escape my past, or am I using it to grow? Now, just as Bjeuren realized that running away from his roots wouldn't allow him to grow, ask yourself if you're avoiding aspects of your past instead of learning from them. Let me give you another practical example. If past financial mistakes make you hesitant to invest, use those lessons to approach investments with better strategies rather than avoiding them entirely. The third question, how can I be more flexible in my approach to challenges? Bjeuren's journey taught us the importance of flexibility. Like the knees that bend without breaking, reflect on areas in your life where rigidity is holding you back. Again, a practical example, if your business plan is not yielding results, consider pivoting to apply your strength differently, or maybe redefine your market instead of stubbornly sticking to the same plan. Here's another question. What can I learn from the struggles and success of my ancestors? Again, in the story, the lessons of the past were embedded in Bjeuren's DNA. Understanding these lessons helped him to make wiser decisions. And on a practical side, look at your family's financial habits. What were their successes? And how can you replicate them in modern context? The last question, am I co-creating my reality, or am I letting circumstances dictate my path? The law of co-creation encourages active participation in shaping our lives. Consider how you can take control and make intentional choices. On a practical side, instead of passively hoping for a better financial future, start planning and investing with intention. Use tools like budgeting, investment plans, or skills development to actively shape your reality. Now, one of the most powerful tools that I know of to use is to use the wealth creator strategy, which is the intelligent use of limited resources to go from where you are to where you want to be in the shortest possible time with the least amount of risk. And risk, as we know, is when we do not understand what we're doing. So we offset that by having the skills. And this is how we can co-create our reality. In other words, the moment that we start taking responsibility for the actions that we are taking, knowing that each and every action has got a specific outcome, now we can start to create that future. We can plan for the future. We can create that legacy. This is part of this law of co-creation. So I want to thank you again for joining me on today's episode of I'm the Tree. If Bjeuren's journey resonated with you, then take a moment and reflect on your own roots. Think about how your past has shaped you and how you can use that strength to grow. Subscribe to our podcast, that is if you haven't done so already, for more stories and lessons on spiritual and financial empowerment. And share this episode with someone who needs a reminder that they too are capable of growth, transformation and success. Remember, just like the tree with deep roots, you have everything you need to stand tall and reach for the skies. Your past is not a burden, but a foundation. Each experience, each lesson is a tool that helps you to grow stronger. Be flexible, embrace your roots, and allow yourself to expand and thrive. Keep nurturing yourself and don't be afraid to stretch beyond your comfort zone. In the next episode, we'll explore I Am the Path, where we'll dive deeper into how to navigate life's journeys with purpose and direction. Until then, my friend, stay grounded, stay inspired, and remember, you are the tree, resilient and ever growing.